I'm on Petaling Street, which in Cantonese is Chi Chong Kai, which actually means tapioca flour. Now that's a throwback to when this whole area used to produce tapioca in a mill. Petaling Street is in the middle of Chinatown in Kuala Lumpur, and it has the most amazing array of market goods, souvenirs, and also I wish you could smell all of the amazing foods that you can just buy off the street. Now today's challenge, or today's memorable moment, will be meeting up with family, because later on I'm going to see some really close friends on my mum's side, and then later on I'm meeting up with my dad and his friends, so we'll see you then. I'm just waiting for Grab, which is the Malaysian version of Uber, to take me to meet my dad, and we're going to the Royal Selangor Golf Club tonight. We met up with Vivienne and Iskander, who are friends on my mum's side, for lunch today, which is absolutely lovely, in the Pavilion Mall. Vivienne's father and my grandfather were blood brothers. In other words, they swore an oath of friendship to each other. And since that point, our families have been interconnected. I first met Vivienne when I was 5 years old on a trip to Malaysia. I looked up to her then because I thought she was the most glamorous lady, and I still do, and it's wonderful to have this opportunity to catch up with her. To talk a little bit about family, I'm descendant from the Peranakan Malay, and now these are the Chinese settlers who came to settle in the Straits of Malacca, in Penang and in Singapore. And they intermarried with the local Malays, and what they were known as the men were babas and the women were nonyas. And what happened there was they adopted all the Malay customs, the Malay cooking. The one thing they kept, however, was Buddhism as their religion, and my grandfather was a Buddhist teacher in Malacca for many years. When I launched my second book, The Leader's Guide to Mindfulness, one of the little roadshow workshops I did was in fact in Malacca, where my mum, my grandfather, my grandmother were all from. And it was lovely to be there. I was at the Malacca Museum of History delivering my talk, and I was wearing a necklace that my grandmother had given my mother, who had given me, and the curator of the museum immediately came up to me, and I thought, my goodness, am I really recognised? And she just said to me, no, I recognise the piece of jewellery you were wearing. Whilst in Malacca, we visited the Sek Kia In temple, where my grandfather taught Buddhism, and also he helped contribute to its build, and it was lovely to see it still standing there. My parents trained in Kirby College in Liverpool. They were sent over by the Malaysian government, and then they returned, migrated to the UK, where they worked as teachers until their retirement. Just great to get some winter sun, and the warmth is wonderful. I know that's another challenge, so I'll be talking about that later on. A lot of people do try and visit their friends, family and loved ones at Christmas, and some of us just have to go a little bit further.